Hi, my name's Mark Hodge. I'm head coach at Rockwell Trading, and in this video we're going to take a look at just how powerful Bollinger Bands can be. We'll show you how to day trade using Bollinger Bands. Now what we see here is a chart of the E-mini S&P 500, and we have one indicator, Bollinger Bands. If you've never seen Bollinger Bands before, they consist of three bands or three lines, the middle line being a simple moving average. Now, the upper band is going to be a band that's a standard deviation of the simple moving average, and the lower band is a standard deviation of that simple moving average as well. What's great about Bollinger Bands is they very clearly show volatility in a market. When they are coming together and you see that they are narrow, there's less volatility. When they are expanding and getting wider apart, there's more volatility. Now, price will typically stay within the bands 95% or more of the time. And this actually is why many traders, when first introduced to Bollinger Bands, will use bands to fade the market. What I mean by fading the market is that a trader will look to sell highs and buy lows. Using a fading strategy in Bollinger Bands, traders will look to sell the upper band and buy the lower band, expecting for price to stay in between those bands. So you can sell the upper band, profit from a move down to the lower band, profit from a move back up to the upper band, and so on. Well, in a sideways market, it doesn't get any better than that. It's a pretty decent strategy to employ. The problem is that the market isn't always moving sideways, and even a minor trend can really take you for a loser if you don't understand how to determine whether a market is trending or not. So it's actually a pretty challenging approach to trade, even though many traders will begin using it. What you really want to know is whether the market is trending or moving sideways, so you can determine exactly what type of trading strategy you should employ. Now, this is what's great about Bollinger Bands, because although many people will look at Bollinger Bands and use fading strategies, they're actually one of the few indicators that are very easy to use to identify trending markets or sideways markets. Let me show you. When the market is trending, like we see here, what do you see happening with price? Price is actually moving up to that band. The band is actually pointing up, just like the uptrend, and price is riding that band all the way up. Now it continues to point up as the market trends higher. Well, do you notice something change here? When the price starts to drop back down, what happens to the upper band? It actually points back down or even moves flat, goes sideways. So in an uptrend, you'll typically find price tagging that upper band or riding that upper band in a nice trend, and when the trend comes to an end, you'll see that the upper band goes flat or actually points down. So not only does this tell you when to consider using a trend following strategy to participate in that trend, but it tells you when you might want to get out of that move. Now in a downtrend, it's the exact opposite. Price will hit that lower band, the lower band will point down, and when that trend is over, the lower band will typically start to point up or move sideways, come off of that lower band. So here you want to use a trend following strategy to participate in this downtrend, and then consider getting out of the trade once we see price come off of that lower band and once we see that lower band starting to point higher, or at the very least moving sideways. Now when the bands are sideways and when you don't have those situations, this is when you want to use a trend fading strategy. So Bollinger Bands are great. They're a very powerful indicator. We actually use Bollinger Bands for quite a few of our strategies. Our simple strategy that we discuss more in our home study course uses Bollinger Bands for an entry point. And if you're looking for a trend fading strategy, that's great when Bollinger Bands are moving sideways, you can consider using our ping pong strategy, another strategy that we use at Rockwell Trading. For more information, go to www.rockwelltrading.com, or keep an eye out for more YouTube videos educating traders how to day trade the markets.